I wanted to share a story about why I hated this part of the Wuthering Heights trailer so much. And this story has to do with the first time I read Wuthering Heights, and this happened in a professional setting. So back in 2018, I was reading Wuthering Heights for the first time, and I was sitting outside of a boardroom. And in walks a group of people, and they stopped and asked, "What are you reading?" And I said, "Wuthering Heights." You know, one of the most acclaimed pieces of literature of all time, a classic. And this person looks me up and down and goes, "A romance?" Walks away, and then they all follow him into the boardroom. And I was just like, so yeah, I was a little bothered by that, but I let it go. But here we are 7 to 8 years later, and we have this trailer saying that this is one of the greatest romances of all time. I don't need to make another video explaining why this isn't a romance. There's hundreds on this app already, and the book's been out for 150 years. If you don't know yet, then you probably don't care. You probably don't want to know. But the thing is, people that read romance are ridiculed all the time by people out in public, people on this app. They think we want a Chuck and Blair. They think that we want BJ and Magnolia. They think that we want to sign a contract with an emotionally abusive man just so we can date a billionaire. You're going to see this trailer claiming that this is the greatest romance of all time. Walk into the theater, see how horrible Heathcliff is, see how horrible he is to Kathy, how horrible Kathy is to everyone, and think, oh, this is what romance readers are reading. Yeah, I think that's a problem. There's other problems with this movie that are much more serious than that. And I kind of think that the studio is doing it on purpose at this point. They see all the discourse on this app around this and how the story is being totally misrepresented and how upset people are getting. And I know that I'm making a video about it now, so I'm kind of adding to that discourse. But it still bothers me. That person that looked me up and down that day and scoffed at me is going to be watching this movie and thinking, yep, just another romance, just another abusive relationship. That's all romance readers want. So even though I want this movie to have its redemption arc because I love the Bronte sisters so much, I just don't see how it's possible at this point to tell the story accurately and have this claim that it's the greatest love story of all time and have people not leave the theater with a bad taste in their mouth. I just don't see how that's possible at this point. I hope they prove me wrong, but I don't see how we're going to get there.